Hello students, this is Mrs. Miller, and the purpose of this video is to give you an in-depth look at how we're going to be annotating our text. So we're going to use these following marks to show our annotations. This is the one that we will use for something that's shocking. I like to use "oh my goodness," an exclamation mark for something that's exciting, XOXO if there's something that we really love, the thought bubble if we want to make a prediction. We'll use ROTFL if something is hilarious. If it's just funny, we'll use LOL. If we come across something that's confusing, that we don't understand, we'll use a question mark. And if we have additional thoughts that we'd like to include, we will write those on our sticky. Finally, we'll be making some connections. We'll use this one here for text to self. This is the one for text to text. And this is for text to world. Now I'm going to go through our article for this week, and I'm going to be sharing my thinking. So please just watch this video in its entirety, and then once I'm finished, you can go back to the assignment, read through it again, and mark your thinking on your own. Okay? This is Colin Kaepernick continues anthem protest before Chargers game. And this was taken from CNN. Here's the link down here. It was taken from CNN.com on September 2nd, 2016. San Diego, CNN. Colin Kaepernick took a knee during a national anthem before Thursday's preseason NFL game and pledged to continue his protest over police brutality and racism in the United States. Wow, that's something that I am shocked about. I wonder why he decided to take the knee. So I'm going to move my thoughts right up here, and I'm going to type. I'm just going to ask, why did he decide to protest in this way? Will this hurt the feelings of many people, or is it necessary to bring attention to a very serious issue? These are just my thoughts. These are the thoughts that I'm having, okay? I like to make my note a little bit smaller, so I'm just going to do that, and we're good to go. The sixth-year 49ers quarterback said he opted to kneel rather than remain seated as he did last week to show more respect for men and women who fight for the country. He was joined by his teammate, safety Eric Reed, who knelt beside the quarterback before the game between the San Francisco 49ers and San Diego Chargers. It was the Chargers' 28th annual salute to the military night, and most of the fans on hand booed Kaepernick, who said he would continue to take a knee in future games. I'm having a text-to-text connection right now because I'm remembering other athletes in the past who did things to take a stand against social injustices, whether it was at the Olympics or just different times in history. I'm familiar with that. So I'm going to put this right here because this is where I had my text-to-text connection. As far as how long this goes, I'm not sure, he said in a post-game news conference. I want to be able to affect change, and I think there are lots of other people who do as well. Former NFL player and Green Beret Nate Boyer, a guest of Kaepernick, stood at the quarterback's left with his right hand over his heart. Prior to the game, Kaepernick, Reed, and Boyer had discussed ways to show respect for military while also protesting racial issues in the country, and they arrived at taking a knee, the quarterback said. I'm having another text-to-text connection because I remember hearing many stories on the news about some of the racial injustices that have been going on here in our country, and I know that something needs to be done about it. And I think it's interesting that Kaepernick chose to take a knee in order to bring attention to the issue. Before the game, Petty Officer First Class Stephen Powell from the U.S. Navy sang the Star-Spangled Banner. Fans in the sparse crowd chanted USA, USA after Powell concluded. When Kaepernick lined up to begin the game, the crowd in San Diego booed. They booed before every snap of his 16 plays. I have a question. I wonder if they realize why he's doing the taking of the knee, why he's not standing. I'm thinking that if they're booing, they might think he's just trying to be disrespectful, but I think that he's trying to make a point. So I wonder if everybody who's booing even understands that. Kaepernick led the team to a touchdown on an 85-yard drive, and the 49ers beat the Chargers 31-21. He had some supporters in the crowd, though. Kaepernick signed autographs before the game, and when number 7 in a 49 jerseys loped out for warm-ups, many people in red 49ers jerseys clapped and cheered. Kaepernick, I love America. Kaepernick, who is biracial, has said he would refuse to stand during the song because he will not show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color. In a post-game news conference Thursday, Kaepernick said his motivations had been misconstrued by the media. I'm having a thought. I remember reading quite a bit about this topic on Facebook, and I remember a lot of people were protesting and saying some very negative things about him. And I think that's what he means when he says that what he's doing has been misconstrued by the media. So I'm going to put people on social media are very upset and vocal about what he is doing. I wonder if this is part of what he wanted in order to bring attention to the racial inequalities. All right, so those are my thoughts there. The media painted this as I'm anti-American. I'm anti-men and women of the military, the quarterback said. That's not the case at all. I'm having a thought. I'm having another thought. My thought is that's why he had people from the military or the person who used to be in the Green Beret as his guest so that he could show that he's not trying to be anti-military. So I'm going to put that thought right here. Let me move my sticky over. And I'm just going to put, I wonder if this is why he had a guest from the Green Beret to show that he isn't anti-military. So those are just my thoughts. Let's continue on. I realize men and women of the military go out of and sacrifice their lives, put themselves in harm's way for my freedom of speech and my freedoms in this country. My freedom to take a seat or take a knee, he said. I have the utmost respect for them, and I think what I did was taken out of context and spun a different way. I really like that he has the utmost respect for people of the military, so I'm going to put this here. I think that in what he's doing, that's gotten lost, that he has the utmost respect for the military. Kaepernick said he intended to donate the first $1 million he earns this year to different organizations that help communities, although he did not name specific ones. I'm going to put an oh my goodness. The fact that he's willing to give up some of his money, $1 million to charities, that to me shows the type of person he is inside. So I'm going to put that there. I'm not anti-America, he said. I love America. I love people. That's why I'm doing this. I want to help make America better. I have a prediction, and my prediction is that what he's doing is going to bring so much attention that more and more people are going to start doing it, and then that's going to lead to conversation about the racial inequalities. Further north in California, Seattle Seahawks cornerback Jeremy Lane sat during the national anthem prior to the game against the Oakland Raiders. He told reporters that he felt similarly to what Kaepernick had expressed and wanted to show support for him. I just have a thought. This is just my personal thought. I'm going to put, I think it's more respectful to kneel than just to continue to sit. I think it is more respectful to kneel instead of just sitting. Those are just my personal thoughts. You neither have to agree or disagree. This is just how I'm annotating the text. I don't mean no disrespect to anybody, but I'm just standing behind what I believe in, Lane said. Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll was asked about Lane's actions. It's totally an individual decision, Carroll said. This is very, very interesting issues that we're dealing with right now. Our team has been working at it. We've been in the process of communicating about a lot of stuff right now. That was an individual thing. But I'm really proud of the progress we're making in the conversation, and I look forward to continuing it with our guys, he said. It's really important to us to understand and to be smart about what we're doing and how we handle our business. And, like I've been telling you, we have a great group of guys that lead this team, and they're going to help us as we move forward. I'm very much in support of them and how we handle it. This was an individual statement tonight. I'm thinking about other movies that I've seen, other books that I've read, where when famous athletes take a stand, it brings attention to certain issues. Again, I'm not saying if it's right or wrong, I'm simply sharing my text-to-text connection. Carroll said he talked to Lane after the game about not standing for the anthem, saying that his cornerback was composed and poised. The individuals in this program have always been very crucial to us, and recognizing them, Carroll said. This is another time we support our guys. Fans react. The complexity of the situation was not lost on those tailgating before Thursday's game. A 49ers fan told CNN, "He's got the right to do what he wants as an American. I just feel that as an American, we should respect our country and our flag. There are other ways for him to do it, so I have mixed emotions and mixed feelings about it." Meanwhile, a Chargers fan said, "It's sad for all the military people who have given their lives and who are thinking of giving their lives for our freedom, for his right to do that and to disrespect the flag and everything that it stands for. But then again, that's what they fought for, so he would have his right." Kaepernick addresses socks. Kaepernick also addressed the saga of his socks before the game. Photos had surfaced on social media of him wearing socks that depict pigs and police hats. "We have cops that are murdering people. We have cops in SFPD that are blatantly racist. Those issues need to be addressed," he said. "I have uncles, I have friends that are cops. I have great respect for them because they are doing it for the right reason and they genuinely want to protect and help people," he said. "That's not the case for all cops, and the cops that are murdering people and are racist are putting other cops in danger, like my family, like my friends. I have a text-to-self connection because my father is also a police, or he just recently retired, but he's a police, and I don't like when police officers are referred to as pigs. So to me, the socks that he wore, even though there are some bad police officers, there are a lot of really good police officers, and those socks he wore, I didn't care for that, so I'm going to write that. I didn't like the socks he wore. I don't like police being referred to as pigs. According to the USA Today, Kaepernick wore the socks as early as August 10th. I'm going to pause. I'm going to go back up here, and I'm going to add a note. With that said, it is wrong that some bad officers murder people and abuse their power. Something needs to be done about this. Okay, I'm not quite finished with reading this article, but I will continue with mine. And I want you, once you look at the rest of my annotations in just a couple of seconds, you'll be able to go back and do yours.